Welcome back, Nation of Glory. Today, I bring you a story that blends raw reality with cinematic emotion, a journey that is both true and larger than life, a tale that shows how a man built not only a wrestling career, but an identity forged in sweat, sacrifice, belief, and unbreakable spirit. This is the story of an Australian kid who grew into one of WWE's most powerful forces. A man whose presence shakes arenas, whose power commands attention, and whose journey inspires everyone who has ever felt underestimated. This is the life and rise of Jermaine Haley, the powerhouse the world knows as Bronson Reed, a dominant force on WWE Raw and a key member of the Vision. But his road to the top was not made of luck. It was built with struggle, heartbreak, relentless drive, and the grit of a man who refused to let the world define him. And today, you're about to hear that journey like never before, with the emotion of a Hollywood narrative wrapped around the truth of his incredible real-life rise. Jermaine Haley was born in Australia, far from the bright lights and booming stadiums of WWE. His story begins in a world where wrestling dreams feel impossibly distant. Australia is a land of passion and sports, but not the kind of wrestling empire that exists in America. Growing up, young Jermaine didn't have easy access to big wrestling schools or huge arenas. Instead, he had passion. He had fire. And most importantly, he had heart. From a young age, Jermaine felt pulled towards something bigger. Wrestling was not just a sport to him, it was a calling. He admired the giants of the ring, not because they were strong, but because they stood for something. They represented resilience, courage, and storytelling through strength. Jermaine didn't see just entertainment. He saw a place where powerful, quiet kids like him could finally roar. But every dream has barriers. For Jermaine, the first barrier was opportunity. Booking flights to America, training in big promotions, joining major wrestling academies, these were luxuries he did not have. Instead, he found himself in small Australian venues, in indie promotions with dim lights and small crowds. But he didn't care, because to him, even 10 fans cheering felt magical. Even a small ring felt like destiny. And even the hardest training day felt like a step toward a future he refused to let go. Jermaine Haley began wrestling across Australia under various ring names. Nights were long, pay was little, injuries came often. But every night, he stepped into the ring with the same belief: I belong here. While others doubted him, while society preferred slim athletes and chiseled bodies, Jermaine brought something different: the body of a real powerhouse, a frame meant for destruction, and a heart meant for storytelling. People underestimated him, until they saw him move. Because Jermaine was not just big. He was agile, explosive, powerful. A man of his size was not supposed to move like that. And every time he flew off the ropes, every time he hit a senton, every time he delivered a move that defied expectations, he built something that mattered: respect. Australian wrestling helped forge him. But Jermaine's dreams went far beyond his homeland. And soon, the world began to notice him. His performances caught attention. His name began spreading across continents. He traveled to new countries, expanding his skill, sharpening his craft, and becoming the kind of wrestler who leaves an impression even without saying a word. Then came the opportunity that changed his entire life: an invitation to WWE. Not everyone gets this chance. And even fewer earn it. But Jermaine had earned every second of it with the years of sweat he left in every ring he ever stepped in. WWE welcomed him into NXT, where he adopted a new identity: Bronson Reed. A name that hit like thunder. A name that matched his power. A name that the world would soon learn to fear and admire. And in NXT, Bronson Reed didn't arrive quietly, he arrived like a force of nature. He brought with him intensity, depth, and a presence that demanded attention. In a world full of hungry competitors, Bronson wasn't there to blend in. He was there to dominate. Crowds noticed him. Commentators praised him. His performances became must-watch moments. He fought with heart, moved with grace, and destroyed with power. Every match was a statement: this is my time. My moment. My destiny. Then came the moment that proved everything: Bronson Reed became NXT North American Champion. When he stood in that ring holding the title above his head, the world saw not just a champion, but a man who refused to be overlooked. A man who turned every doubt into motivation. A man who made every sacrifice worth it. But success is never a straight line. In 2021, after a strong run in NXT, Bronson Reed was unexpectedly released. And in that moment, the world didn't just see a wrestler lose a job, they saw a dream fall apart. Fans were shocked. Experts were confused. And Jermaine Haley, the man behind Bronson Reed, felt the weight of uncertainty pressing down. Imagine that moment. After years of pouring your heart into your craft, after climbing the mountain and seeing the world recognize your greatness, suddenly, the rug is pulled out from under you. But that is where greatness is truly tested. Jermaine Haley didn't break. He didn't hide. He didn't disappear. He did what true warriors do: he fought back. He returned to the independent scene. He went to Japan. He performed like a man on a mission to prove that the world had made a mistake. And every match he wrestled outside WWE carried a message. I am not finished. I am not done. I am not defeated. And his message echoed loudly. So loudly that it reached WWE once again. In 2022, WWE brought him back, bigger, stronger, and hungrier than ever. And when he returned, he did not come back quietly. The arena shook with energy. Fans roared. Commentators knew instantly, Bronson Reed is back, and this time, he's unstoppable. His return to WWE Raw marked a new chapter. He joined the Vision, a group that embodied dominance, intensity, and purpose. And Bronson Reed became one of the most feared forces in the group, a walking powerhouse with a mission to break limits and shatter expectations. Every time his music hits, the crowd knows destruction is coming. His powerbombs shake the ring. His tsunami splash from the top rope reminds the world that giants can fly. His attitude commands respect. And his presence tells a story all on its own. A man who refuses to quit. A man who survived the fall and rose stronger. A man who carved a place in WWE with pure will. This is where the Hollywood side of his story comes alive. Because when you look at Bronson Reed, when you see him stand in that arena drenched in victory, you don't just see a wrestler, you see a movie character. A warrior forged in adversity. A hero built from pain. A giant with a heart that beats louder than the crowd itself. Bronson Reed's story is not about being the biggest. It's about having the biggest fight inside you. It's about proving that success doesn't belong to the perfect. It belongs to the relentless. He represents every person who has ever been doubted. Every dreamer who has ever been told, you're not good enough. Every fighter who has ever been pushed to the edge and still chose to rise. His journey continues today on WWE Raw, where he dominates opponents and grows stronger with every match. With the Vision by his side, Bronson Reed stands at the beginning of an era, his era. A time where he is not just a wrestler, not just a powerhouse, but a symbol of resilience. The world watches him now. Fans admire him. Critics respect him. And WWE knows they have a star whose story is still being written. From the small independent shows of Australia, to the global stage of WWE, to heartbreak, release, redemption, and return, Bronson Reed is proof that destiny cannot be denied. This is not just his biography. It is his legend, a true-life Hollywood story unfolding in real time. And as long as he steps into the ring, his message will echo. No matter who doubts you. No matter who stops believing in you. Never stop believing in yourself. Because Jermaine Haley didn't just become Bronson Reed. He built him. He earned him. He lived him. And now, the WWE Universe gets to witness the unstoppable force he has become. Thank you, Nation of Glory, for watching this powerful journey to the very end. If you enjoyed this emotional and inspiring story of Bronson Reed, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this video with fellow wrestling fans. Your support keeps this channel alive, and we will continue bringing you more incredible stories from the world of wrestling. Until next time, stay strong, stay inspired, and keep fighting for your glory.